Everything is chemistry. We are surrounded by it every day, and today we're going to be making brownies using chemistry. Have you ever wondered how some brownies aren't the same? Some have sprinkles, some have nuts. Some are soft or fluffy or even hard.
Well, in this experiment, we want to test to see if the baking soda affects the height of the brownie.
When we get down to it, it's all about the baking, period. It's crazy how all these factors mix together and produce a sweet, delectable dessert. We want to test the taste of the brownie because maybe the fluffiest brownie might not taste the best. So it all comes down to one question: what is the perfect brownie? So you're wondering where did you get this idea? Why brownies? Well, I'll tell you why. I took a class in junior year and it was called culinary arts. We baked this legit brownie, but it turned out it went totally wrong compared to everyone else's. We were wondering why, and my teacher said that, did you put in baking soda? Turns out we didn't put any baking soda and it totally went wrong. It looked disgusting. So we were wondering, why not test this out using chemistry? Why didn't it work? Tisha, get off the floor.
In this experiment, we have sodium bicarbonate reacting with cream of tartar, which is baking soda, to produce carbon dioxide and water using decomposition and double replacement. And the CO2 in the gas aids in the rise of the brownie.
Our hypothesis is that when more baking soda or NaHCO3 is added, there will be a shift right according to Le Chatelier's principle. Therefore, more carbon dioxide is produced, resulting in a rise in the brownie. So basically, the more baking soda used, the higher the brownie will turn out and the more enjoyable it will be.
To set up our experiment, we have a number of controlled variables such as the same ingredients and the same amount of ingredients, the same stirring utensils and pans, measuring cups and spoons, and what we're going to be altering is our amount of baking soda. For every test, which we're doing 3, we're going to either add more baking soda or take away some. And to measure the effects of the baking soda, we have a ruler for the height and we're going to do a number of taste tests. First, we're going to preheat the oven to 325 degrees. Oh God.
Next, we're going to grease an 8x8 inch pan. Next, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of water, and a half a cup of sugar. And we're going to cook it over medium heat until it boils.
Okay, so now that it started to boil, we're going to turn off the heat and add 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. Now I'm going to stir it until it's smooth. Now we're adding half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Next we're adding 2 eggs.
Oh, now we're going to mix in the eggs and vanilla.
Now we're combining 2/3 a cup of flour, 1/2 a teaspoon of salt, and this time 1/4 a cup of baking soda.
Now we are spreading the brownie mix evenly amongst the pan.
Now we're going to put the brownies in the oven. And set the kitchen timer to 25 minutes.
After 25 minutes, we measured that the brownies rose 3 centimeters.
Okay, so now we've done all the same steps that we did in our first trial. Same ingredients, same amount of the ingredients, same pan and same stirrer. But this time we're going to add 1/2 cup of baking soda and see how that affects the brownie.
That's good. After baking the brownie for 25 minutes, we took it out and measured that it rose 4 centimeters. Now we did the same exact thing, measuring everything the exact same, except the baking soda is now 3/4 cup of baking soda.
So when we added 3/4 cup of baking soda, it turns out the brownies rose to 5.3 centimeters. Okay, so in our experiment, it turns out that we know something went completely wrong. Instead, we misread the instructions, and it turns out we were supposed to add 1/4 of a teaspoon instead of 1/4 of a cup. And that's a major difference. But this was just a human error.
However, we were still able to overcome this mistake because adding more baking soda allowed us to observe the rise of the brownie a lot easier.
We also overcame this because one brownie still tasted the best and one still tasted the worst.
We had 3 members of Tisha's family taste test the brownies. It was decided unanimously that the brownie with the least baking soda was the best tasting, and the one with the most baking soda was the worst tasting. With the ruler, we found that 1/4 of a cup was 3 centimeters, 1/2 cup was 4 centimeters, and 3/4 of a cup of baking soda was 5.3 centimeters.
This proves our hypothesis was partially correct.
Though we were wrong about the taste of the brownie.
Our predictions about the height of the brownie were correct. What up?
We learned that every brownie tastes different. So you want to keep in mind to separate teaspoons from cups and measure the right amount and read the recipe very carefully. Along goes with all the other experiments that you want to read the directions very carefully and not mess up like Tisha here.
Loser. We doing it?
Yes!
Oh, my bad. Okay, so in our experiment, just because we added more baking soda, dang it, I forgot. Should I keep my legs open like this?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Alright, ready?
Yeah.
Baking the brownie. Damn, baking the brownie. We want to we want to test the brownie.
It allowed us to see, or adding more baking soda. What was I gonna say? Why can't I do? Next, we're gonna grease an egg.
A cup of flour and 2 eggs. Ooh.